Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the latest episode of The Strength Club. And we're going to be looking at some form check videos today. Thank you very much for those of you that sent in form videos. My name is Byron Johnston. I'm a starting strength coach based here in the United Kingdom. You've seen me on the podcast before. And today I'm very, very delighted to welcome on a new co host who's joining me, Gretchen Geist. Gretchen, thanks so much for coming onto the podcast today. Please just introduce yourself and tell us a bit about yourself.
Thanks, Byron. I'm Gretchen Geist. I am a starting strength coach based here in the States, in the Metro Detroit area. And yeah, been coaching the method for almost 5 years, and I love it.
Great, and we were just at the seminar together. We were at Wichita Falls
Yes.
a couple of weekends ago now, and that's just a fantastic time getting stuck into that. And I thought, as I've got some of these coming up, I'm going to invite Gretchen onto this thing so we can get stuck in. So, okay, guys. So the moment
Yay.
you've all been waiting for, we're going to go into some of the form check videos now. Again, thank you for sending these videos in. If we featured you today and you see yourself appear here, by all means, comment, like, and hit a follow on the podcast wherever you're watching it, YouTube or wherever it appears. And if you get stuck, then later on you can always reach out to Gretchen or myself if you need more guidance, and we'll give you our contact details later before we wrap up. But for now, we're going to go to the first video. All right, so we've got Gary. And Gary just says any tips appreciated. So we've got a deadlift. We've got a lot of squat videos today, but we're going to open with a deadlift video. So let's hit play. Let's see what's happening with Gary, so we can have a look and see how he's getting on here with his deadlift. Okay, so I'm thinking with the filming angle, if Gary was, just chatting with me now, I would say, Gary, probably we want to get the camera a little bit more around to the front 45 degrees for a deadlift. I can see some things we want to talk about, but it's not the best angle because sometimes the lifting plates can block the view. Do you find that as well, Gretchen, when you've got to get the right view for videos and stuff?
I actually don't mind this angle. And
Mhm.
I like watching when I'm coaching the deadlift in person. I kind of like being at the rear 45.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's a little bit, I think
Yeah.
that's different than most of our colleagues, but
Yeah, yeah. As we're doing confession time, then. So sometimes instances when I am coaching squat with someone, I will often get into the front position as well, so I can see the
okay.
knees tracking in line with toes. Now, normally I don't want videos from that front angle normally, but from a coaching perspective, it is useful sometimes. I also appreciate
Oh yeah.
that's a little controversial. That
Yeah.
certainly is less common. Yeah, but I
Hot
do I
take.
do sometimes do that. Yeah, I know. You heard it here first. Um,
Yes.
all right, so I'm seeing a couple of things. Do you want to call in there, Gretch, that you're seeing?
Sure. Well, overall, it's actually a pretty good deadlift. You can tell when he puts the bar back down, he's
Hmm.
taking care to really get it over the middle of his foot
Yep.
and resetting his shins touching the bar. So that's really good. He is setting his back. Now, I would like it to be a little bit tighter,
Hmm.
but he's not wearing a belt, so
Hmm.
he's gonna need a belt at some point,
Hmm.
probably pretty soon here. Um, but it's overall a pretty good, considering the other things we see in form checks, this is pretty good. He's
Yeah.
yanking the bar a little bit,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
minor things. I mean, great job, Gary. You're crushing it.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the main thing I had there was that Gary in the five steps that we coach in the deadlift. The step that you want to be careful of is step number four. Okay, so just think about kind of squeezing into position, and then when you bring the bar up, don't yank it, don't aggressively try to bring it up off of the floor, because what I'm seeing in the video is that sometimes when you aggressively try to set your back or pull it up, sometimes you'll push your hips down a bit lower. So you can end up ducking the hips down, and they end up a bit too low. And then they'll sort of shoot up as you then start your lift off. Um, So there. And as that's
Looks like
happening,
it.
the bar is slightly leaving your legs. So the bar is separating from you. So when you're bringing the bar up, just smoothly set into position, okay? And keep the bar and your legs together as it starts coming up. Don't let it swing away from you. Keep it skimming up the front of your, well, we call them tracksuit bottoms, Gretch. What do you call the trousers he's wearing?
I don't know, I'd just say like pants.
Pants. Okay, yeah, yeah. So in the UK, pants is something else, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Ooh,
pants
okay.
is like underwear. Um, so we say track. Yeah, I know. So we say tracksuit bottoms, Gary or tracksuit
Tracksuit
bottoms.
bottoms. That's
Yeah, I'm using
great.
that terminology because I can see he's in kilograms in the gym. I can see he's in kilos. So I'm saying, Gary, it's tracksuit bottoms. So yeah, so as you come up, keep the bar and your legs together. Don't let it get out away from you there, and just smoothly set your back into contraction here. And as Gretchen said, don't sort of tug it off here. Don't pull on it too much because again, that's when I think you get issues of losing the kind of the extension of the back. Gretchen, do you want to add anything there?
Um, no, we really
Mm,
covered it. I mean, I'm really particular about
mm,
getting the back like super duper tight.
hmm
So,
hmm
and he obviously I mentioned he is setting his back. You see a lot of form checks where guys are like getting in the right position and then they make no attempt to
Yeah.
set
Oh,
their
yeah.
back
Yeah.
into extension. So
Yeah.
he is doing that, which is
Yeah. Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
But
Gary.
yeah, he
Yeah.
just needs to clean up a couple things. This actually
Yeah.
looks pretty good.
I think so. Good stuff, Gary. Good luck in your training. I hope these points are helpful for you. Okay. Right. We'll go to the next one. So I'm going to bring up Tony now. Let me just click a button here. Bring up Tony. So we've got the first of some squat videos we're going to look at. What does Tony say? He just says this is his first time with 225. I feel like I'm remembering the tip. Imagine there's a chain attached to your lower back pulling up, but he's not sure if it's good form. So let's have a look and see what happens here then.
Doesn't count. The plates are on backwards. Just kidding.
That's it.
Just
Sorry,
kidding.
Tony. The reps are cancelled.
Okay, look.
I would like collars on the bar to be honest with you. For squats, I would
Yeah.
like collars on the bar.
Yeah.
So we'll just watch a few reps here. Oh, all right. So I'm seeing a couple things we can tidy up with Tony to help you here. And I can definitely see that rep there looks like it is getting a bit sticky. So it's probably this is a
Yeah.
good time to get a form check done.
Hmm.
So for me personally, Tony, like get the collars on your barbell so you're not worried about losing plates or having a problem in your home gym. I can see it's got a car there, so it's a home gym. When you're walking the bar out, I think the stance could be a little bit closer. I think his stance is a little bit wide. I'm thinking as he comes down, Gretchen, I'm just seeing the shins look a little vertical to me. I don't know if you're agreeing there or if you think it's okay. I'm not sure. What do you reckon?
Well, um, our boxes are blocking that part, so I can't really see it.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna leave it to you for the stance and the
Ah,
depth in the
okay.
knees,
Ah,
but
okay.
I'll
So
just
where
take
you're
care of the
seeing,
upper part. How about
right.
that?
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. So when you're looking at the video, is it where I've got us positioned, your you might be able to change the view you've got
Oh,
there, Gretchen, on your settings.
I
So
fixed it. We're
def
good.
good
We're
stuff.
good.
So
Okay, go ahead.
I do think he's Tony that you need to get a bit deeper. You're cutting off your squat a little bit soon.
Yeah, definitely high.
I'd love Gretchen's thoughts on the stance width if she thinks we'd maybe want to adjust that. Let's have a look here. Again, with the safety that's the lower safety that's out there, it's a bit hard to see it. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm
I
not sure
think
what
the
you think.
stance looks fine to
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, he's definitely missing depth.
Mm,
Let's see one more rep here. Yeah, he just needs to keep his knees out, go a little deeper.
mm. That's it,
Um,
Tony. So definitely we do have a depth thing here, Tony, for you to work on. Okay, so I don't know if you're in the recording, if you'll see the crease, if you'll see the cursor of my mouse. I'm not sure if that will come up in this recording, but basically where I've stopped the tape, if where your leg is bending, where the top of your pocket would be on your shorts, that's the crease of the hip kind of area. And what we want to do, Tony, is we want to get you down lower, so that is down just beneath the top of your knee when you view it side on. Okay, so a good thing to do here is to get a good look at the blue book, and that shows several pictures in the blue book, whether you've got it on Kindle or the actual book itself, Starting Strength Third Edition, and you'll see depth lined out there really really clearly, and you know how much lower to come. So you've got to squat down a bit lower. All right. And I
Mhm.
think, okay, so we think the stance might be okay. Normally, what I would do here, Gretch, is I just walk around behind him and just see directly behind what's going on with that
Yeah.
stance, just to
Yeah.
see, Tony. So if in doubt, you can always film from behind yourself. And what you're looking is that as you squat down, if your shins are absolutely vertical or even bowing inwards, your stance might need to come inwards a little bit. There should be a slight outward angle at your shins when you're looking at yourself from there, and they should line up. Your knees should line up with your shoes, um, and also it should feel like you can get down to depth. I think it might just be a thing of us talking him on target. To be honest with you, what do you reckon?
Um, yeah, I think his stance is fine. Yeah, he just
Hmm.
needs to like choose to squat lower. That's
Yeah,
all. And I
yeah,
think his last rep he does like catch like minimum depth,
mm,
and yeah, like that one was, I mean, it's like borderline. It's kind of hard with that, yeah, that
hmm,
safety in the way.
yeah. So he's getting there. I can see he's on the right way as I hit pause just there.
But you can tell like when he gets
Yeah,
closer to depth, it's
mm.
harder for him. So like he needs to
Little reset.
um yeah, maybe do a
Yeah,
tiny reset
yeah,
because you know what happens, like if you start squatting high, it's going to get higher and higher and
yeah,
higher. And then when you get held accountable to the
yeah.
right depth, your body didn't get stronger for several workouts in that
Mm.
position. So that'll be the weak link.
Yeah.
So, um, but one thing that's pretty glaring to me is his upper back is
Hmm.
extremely loose.
Hmm.
He, come on, Tony, you need a belt. Get a belt. You're not a hero for not wearing a belt. I think a lot of people are like try to go as far as they can without the belts. And
Hmm.
he's got the shoes. I think he's wearing some TYRs. But anyway, his upper back's really rounded. His grip's pretty loose. I mean, his wrists are bent back, so he's bearing a lot of the load in his hands and his elbows and his arms. So and the bar's a little high also. So he needs
Hmm.
to get the bar lower, needs to really squeeze his shoulder blades together and try to
Yeah.
touch his elbows together behind his back.
Yeah. If you can
Um,
roll your wrists up, Tony, as well, try to get your wrists straight, is what Gretchen is saying there. So there's a little bit of like setup work to do here under the barbell. So you're not so taking the load in your hands with the bent wrist.
mhm.
So I think
His
that's
hip
go on.
Yeah, his hip drive is fine because he mentioned that's what he's thinking about. The thing
Hmm.
about it is that the lever of your spine is
Hmm.
pretty loose. So even though your hip drive movement pattern is good, you're not transferring the force
Hmm.
very effectively because
Hmm.
essentially your lever's like a rubber wrench versus a steel wrench. So you need to
Hmm.
get your back tighter, and both choosing
Hmm.
to do that by tightening your upper back before you even unrack the bar, and then getting a belt, those things are going to help you become more rigid in your torso, which will help transmit the force more effectively to the
Yeah.
barbell.
Yeah, I think that's really solid advice, Gretch. Yeah. So, Tony, you've got a little weight reset to do, okay, just to make sure you can get down to depth. And we've talked about what the depth is and how to have a look at that. One way to check that is to film yourself directly side on, and you'll really see if you're coming down to that depth, and you can be honest with yourself about that. The setup is important. When I used to lift and I didn't really dial that in, I started to get problems like elbow pains and that sort of thing. The minute I fixed that, like a lot of those problems just went away. So the setup, don't underestimate. Just even if you're going to say to yourself, well, I'm going to take a little bit of weight off the bar, even in the warm-ups, you want to dial in that
Yes.
really squeezing in tight here, bringing your shoulders together, and just making sure if you can get your wrists straight on the barbell. So when it's viewed side on, you don't really want to see this kind of bend here at the wrist. You kind of want to see if you can straighten it out. So just a little bit of time of practicing, just getting into that position, I think it's gonna pay off with that rigidity. And then, you know, treating yourself to a belt. I think that's a
Yeah,
very, very good
just
shout.
do
The belt
it.
really does help.
It's yeah, it's kind of like it's a tool. It's not like a cheat. It's gonna help you lift heavier
Mm,
weights.
yeah.
It's kind of like if you're trying to, I don't know, like do yard work without like a wheelbarrow. It's like you can
Yeah. You
still
can still
do it,
do
but you're
it.
making
Yeah.
everything
Get-
so much harder for yourself. Like just get yourself the right tools and you'll be
Yeah.
able to do it so much more efficiently.
I completely agree. Okay, so Tony, you know what to do. So good luck with your training.
You
Again,
got this, Tony.
yeah, you've got this, Tony. You're going to be just fine. Okay. All right, we're going to move on to our next video now. And this is from Landon. And Landon writes to us. He says, this is my little paperwork here. This is the last working set at 155 pounds. He's new to the novice linear progression, and he's concerned I'm not emphasizing hip drive enough out of the hole. What do you both think? All right, so Landon, let's get you moving and have a look here. Another good home gym setup.
Bridge. If Tony's watching, this is how to get tight in your setup position. This looks really good so far. The bar might be a little high, but you can tell he's thinking about getting his upper back tight. Just
Hmm.
wanted to mention that. Oh yeah, he's setting his upper back. Good.
So I think Landon has some concerns about hip drive.
Yeah.
I think they're warranted with what I'm seeing.
Oh yeah, he's not leaning over
Yeah,
like at all.
yeah.
Now, however, like I just mentioned, his upper back is
Hmm.
very tight. This is
Hmm.
great. Like I'm like I never see this during form checks. So I'm
Hmm.
like everybody watching his elbows, you can see all the wrinkles in his shirt.
Hmm.
This is what it looks like to have a tight upper back. Okay. Now, that being said, yeah, he's not leaning over like at all. So
Yeah,
I think a lot of people get
yeah.
um the rigidity of the upper back and the spine
I know what you're
totally
going to say.
versus the back angle. So it's like we
Yeah,
want both. We want rigidity in the upper and lower back, the whole segment, but we still want the right back angle.
yeah,
So he's getting the rigidity part
yeah.
really, really well, like better than I've seen maybe ever in any form check video I've ever seen on like Reddit or anything like that. But he's not leaning over.
Hmm. So, Landon, what you want to do here is carry on with that great setup that you're doing to secure the
Yes.
barbell. Carry on with that, but then, as you start your descent on the way down, think about this is how I describe it, Gretchen. I'm sure you've got ways you put it. Is I sometimes will say to a lifter, just point your chest straight down between your legs. Yeah, just point straight down,
Hmm.
bear down on it. The other one I'll sometimes say is just imagine there's a laser coming out of your chest. And at the minute, if I draw the, I don't know if, again, I'm not sure if the cursor will show up in the video, but right now the as he starts down, the laser's pointing at the wall ahead of him. And what we want to do is get the laser pointing more down at the floor on a target like that, rather
Yeah.
than continuing to stay. Can you see it still pointing at the floor here? Still at the wall, I should say. And so he's almost like sort of protecting from getting that lean over.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that go on
I wonder
and
if he's
just put
like
go on.
I wonder if he's like tweaked his back before, like people that um are like afraid, they're trying to shield their back from any sort of loading and they don't want to lean over. Like, and that's, psychological, um, from my experience.
Hmm. Yeah, it's possible. We don't have that in Landon's notes.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I don't want to
and
plant that in his head if it's not there. But it's
Yeah.
common behavior from,
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's also
And
squatting pretty low.
I was saying I did have that in my notes. We can probably land and we can probably take a little bit of like it's if it's going to be hard to stop the tape exactly where, but that even that might be a touch low. So if we can, I'll try to stop it sooner with where you want to squat to, but you just need the crease of the hip to just. How's that, Gretch?
Yeah, that's
I
perfect.
think I caught it more there. So this is a great view here. Crease of the hip just below the top of the knee. You don't really need to go any lower than that. That's where you want to catch the bounce. And I think if you were emphasizing this idea that he's going to get more leaned over, then I'm hoping that by default that will put him more back in the hips in terms of
It
where
will.
the drive is
Yeah.
coming from, Landon. So
Yeah.
as you fix one, you're going to fix the other. So if we just get into the kind of the root cause of it, you'll find that you might feel that you're sitting back a little bit more on the way down. You might find that you're a
Hmm.
bit more leaned over on the way down. And as you do that on the way up, you can drive through your legs and you can stay leaned over. Okay, so you can stay in the hip drive there. Gretchen, do you want
Let
to add
me,
something? Go on.
yeah, let me give him a different cue because on
Go
some of
on.
those, he might be like,
Yep.
well, my chest is pointed at the floor. So
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna tell
Go.
Landon. So think about taking your belly button and you're
Uh-huh.
pointing it behind your heels. That's
Hmm.
gonna get him in the right position. Because like so that one's not leaned over at all. As he
Hmm.
goes through the set, he leans over a little bit more. So um I'm giving him like when someone's really not doing it for me in
Hmm.
person, I'm like,
Hmm.
take your belly button, point it way back behind their heels, and I'll literally slap the floor like behind their heels. And
Hmm.
yeah, so just really exaggerating because he needs to be kind of over cued right now.
Hmm.
Like this
Hmm.
one, he's like, yeah, I'm pointing my chest at the floor. It's like, no, 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 it's
Yeah.
not nearly enough.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's all I wanted to add.
All right, Landon, I hope that's useful for you. All right, sir. Good luck with your training. I think we have time for one more and then we'll
Yeah,
have to
one
wrap
more.
up. So
Yeah.
we're going to look at Sam now. Again, I think we have another squat video coming. Let's have a look at Sam. Sam writes to us, hi, sorry for the poor angle. There is not much room in my shed. I'm having trouble with back rounding at the bottom, at least for my inexperienced eye. The weight is 75 kilos and it's the last set of five for the day. So yeah, he says he's having his main thing is he's trouble with his back rounding at the bottom.
Mm,
I think I know what he's experiencing, Gretch, from what I'm seeing. Do you see he sort of leads with his butt? So he reaches his hips back, and then
yeah.
sometimes he slightly, I don't know if I'm going to describe this correctly, but he slightly goes into a little bit of overextension, and then his spine sort of sorts itself out, goes back to neutral again. So he's really leading, he's
Yeah.
really thinking butt back, leading back with his butt, but then it kind of scoops him a little bit, and then it sorts itself out as it's on the way down. I don't know how
That's
detectable that is in the video. Just have a look for a few reps.
yeah. I don't, honestly, looking at it, I don't really see overextension. Honestly, he's probably not flexible enough to be
Mm,
an overextension, but yeah, his knees are late, which is causing some. Hold on, let me watch it again.
sure.
The angle is like really, really
Yeah.
hard to work with.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
to
I can
put
see the
something on
late
the
knees
wall.
there. I'll hit play on that again, but I can see he's a beat behind there. There. So
Yeah.
they're coming late into position there. That I just feel like he's going butt
Yeah.
first, and I think that's where his set that sensation is coming from.
Yeah.
You see it. I don't know how. Again, I'm not sure how clear it is. But I can't really do it without standing up. But it's to me, Gretch, it looks like he's slightly leading with his butt first, and as
Yes.
he brings his tail back, that's when that slight round, that lower back scooping occurs, and then of course it sort of levels out. And I wonder if that's what's generating this feeling he's reporting about, this rounding feeling, but it's really just his back kind of correcting into
Yeah.
extension. So I think. I think, Sam, it's going to be a a breathing and bracing job. So as you get under the barbell, don't um, get yourself set tight here. Come to your start position and then reset, re-brace your body as well in the upper body. Okay. Get yourself tight in extension there. And then,
Get a belt.
yeah, add the belt will help. Um, I had a little side note, Gretchen. I don't know if you agree with this sort of thing, but sometimes what I do with lifters when it is a bit tight like this in their gym, I say, in your house, do you have a mirror, like a full length mirror somewhere? And what I'll have them do is I'll just have them practice without the barbell, standing side on to a mirror and just practice that tightness and practice hinging over so that the back angle changes without that kind of butt scooping into it. So it actually comes over like hinging over as one piece. That's kind of my
Mhm.
thoughts on so I get him practicing it there and then bringing it back into the gym. Please, you go for a bit and tell me what you want to add on here.
Um, that's interesting. Hmm. Yeah, I think he just needs to, actually, this is a good comment. I have a client
Cool.
who, she'll kind of lean over too much and
Mm,
I'll just literally cue her in her squat, bend your knees, and it cleans everything up. So, maybe he just needs to be cued to set your knees, bend your knees, because the lean part's fine.
hmm
So we just need a little bit more of that involvement, and it should
hmm
clean right up. But yeah, Sam, just get a belt. Just do it. Treat yourself.
hmm
Even like, I mean, obviously a leather belt's ideal, but even if he were to get a soft belt, it would still help him know what's going on.
hmm hmm
But yeah.
hmm So just sorry, the thing on Sam's mind is about his basically is his back too rounded at the bottom. I
Oh,
don't think it
yeah.
is. So
No.
just to recap that, Sam, to put your mind at rest, I don't think we would call it lumbar flexion, but I actually don't think we're seeing excessive lumbar flexion. But there are other things to work on that will help you get into that position with the belt. Hopefully, that drill I've mentioned to you with the mirror will help you kind of perform that in a smooth way. And then with Gretchen's cue about your knees as well, things will feel more in position in your squat.
hmm Let me add one more thing. I think
Go ahead.
a lot of times lifters when they're trying to coach themselves, they'll kind of see like here, he thinks his back is rounding and out of position. And that's kind of like the tertiary effect of okay, like the bigger issue is the bracing and the movement pattern in and of itself. So usually people are catching the symptom versus the root cause.
hmm
Like you know how newer coaches are like, oh my gosh, their wrists are bent back in their squat. It's like, well, that's a result of the upper back not being tight enough. So this is kind of we're looking at um we're looking at things that come before um the backgrounds or before the wrist position. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
he's asking about one thing and then we're
hmm
zooming out and like, okay,
hmm
this is what's caused like yes, like maybe and again with him, we don't think his low back is rounding. It's not. But
hmm
um he's like, okay, something's off, which is
hmm
correct, but we're zooming out, and that's where coaching is really valuable. So that's
Yeah.
kind of where
Yeah.
we're coming from for all the viewers. We're
Yes.
zooming
Yes.
out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it won't always be what you're feeling or what you think is happening. Sometimes it might be, but sometimes also you're going to the root cause of it is quite important because you get that root cause fix and things down the chain, as Gretchen was saying, kind of get sorted out as a proxy of doing so. All right, Sam. So that's the notes for today on your lift there. Again, if there's questions, you can contact us. Let's talk about how people can reach out to us, Gretchen. If they want to find you, what's the best way to get in touch with yourself?
Yes, so you can contact me on Instagram. I'm at SoFetchSoGretch, or you can find me on the Weights and Plates website. Just search weights and plates, and you can work with me online there.
All right. Fantastic. And I'm Byron Johnston. You can find me through my website, strengthrevolution.org. Strengthrevolution.org. And if you want to see me lifting or coaching in bits and pieces, then I'm again on Instagram, Strength Revolution Coaching there. All right, this has been the Strength Club for today. We hope it's been really, really helpful. We'll hope get back to do some more videos for you. You know how to submit them through the app. And if this has been beneficial to you, then please like and follow the podcast. And we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Okay, all the best. Bye for now.
Bye.